Stealing a piece of bread, he was sentenced to 19 years in prison. For 19 years, he was humiliated. Finally, he was released from prison. But the warden made things difficult for him. He had to carry the mast, which weighed hundreds of kilos, by himself. If anyone else had tried, it would have been impossible. But he was born with natural strength. He picked up the mast and dropped it in front of the warden. Seeing that he couldn't be broken, the warden had no choice but to exercise his authority. But to Billy's surprise, his release order declared him extremely dangerous. He was required to report regularly to a designated police station. If he missed even once, he'd be arrested again. Billy was furious. He had stolen that piece of bread because his nephew was on the verge of starving to death, and he had paid for that piece of bread with 19 years. Wasn't that enough? But, in the warden's eyes, once a thief, always a thief. He was a thief for life. And even after escaping prison, it was just another prison. He wandered, looking for work, but no one wanted to hire a dangerous man. Adults humiliated him, even children laughed and mocked him on the streets. That night, the caretaker wouldn't even let him sleep in the stable. They didn't want him dirtying their place. Hungry and cold, he had to walk through the snow to a cemetery. He found a corner to sleep in. Suddenly, an old man appeared in front of him. It turned out that this wasn't a cemetery, but a church. The kind priest brought him inside. He gave him food, clothes, and a warm bed. But Billy had suffered so much that he couldn't believe anyone could be so selfless. He even wondered if the old man had ulterior motives. In the middle of the night, he stole all the silver cutlery and slipped away. But he didn't get far. He was caught by the local police, caught red-handed. Billy knew he'd never leave prison again. But he never expected the priest to tell the police that he had given Billy the silverware willingly. Then he turned and took a pair of even more expensive candlesticks, saying that Billy had left in a hurry and forgotten to take them. The police had no choice but to let Billy go. After they left, the priest told him to make good use of these precious items and to become a good and honorable man, as he had been shown such kindness. Billy was stunned that the world wasn't entirely rotten, and he couldn't believe he had become a thief, fleeing like a dog. Had he really lost his mind?